Shalom, you're watching Arutz Sheva TV. I'm Yoni Kupinski, and this is our daily edition. The Israeli government held its weekly meeting at Ashqelon today in order to express solidarity and support in the residents of the south and to declare that the state will not abandon the residents, rather help them rise up and recover.
אני מקווה שהשקט הזה שהושב אכן ימשיך לשרור, יימשך הרבה זמן.
I hope that the quiet that has been restored will last for a long time, but we are ready for any scenario, both in this sector and in others, including, of course, the Golan Heights. We will continue, in keeping with our Zionist heritage, to develop our communities and our cities. I use the word develop, not just rebuild, because we have already started to do that.
אני אומר את המילה לפתח, לא רק לשקם, בזה כבר התחלנו. אנחנו באים לקבל...
We will make decisions today. Our first decision will be to assist with a 1.5 billion shekel 5-year plan, Sderot and the communities in the area adjacent to the Gaza Strip. The intention is not only to rehabilitate agricultural and repair damage which has been done, but also to assist industrial, economic, and agricultural development, and of course the construction of additional security infrastructures. This is the first commitment, and it will be realized today.
כמובן, בנייה נוספת של תשתיות הביטחון. זו ההתחייבות הראשונה, היא תמומש היום.
Later today, the Prime Minister and the Education Minister opened the school year, which will actually begin, in terms of the students, tomorrow morning. As we declared, we are opening the school year as planned with no problems throughout the country. There's a special and unique cooperation with the Center of Local Municipalities and all the teachers' organizations.
לילדי ישראל, אני רוצה לומר לכם, אני יודע שלא היה לכם חופש גדול אמיתי.
I would like to say something to the children of Israel. I know you did not have a real vacation this year, and I hope that the upcoming holidays of the month of Tishrei will enable you to spend time and relax with your family and your friends. I want to commend you guys for listening to your parents while we experienced the operation. You were an integral part of our national unity, a huge element of the national strength of Israel. I want to assure you, the parents, that together with the Minister of Education and the team of teachers and kindergarten teachers, we will continue to work to ensure that your children will be safe this year, have a successful year in all fields. Israel's finance minister, Knesset member Yair Lapid, spoke with the foreign press today and related to the counter-terrorism operation, Protective Edge, and its aftermath.
We are now almost a week into the current ceasefire, but Operation Protective Edge is not over. The ceasefire is only the beginning of the next stage of the operation, the diplomatic stage, that must lead to the demilitarization of the Gaza Strip. The only measure is our ability to achieve long-term quiet for the residents of southern Israel. This is also the time to say to the world, come visit Israel. Come and invest in Israel. The most Zionist act the Jewish community around the world can do today is to book a holiday and come spend the high holy days here in Israel. Israel is strong. Our military is strong. Our economy is strong. Our society is strong. We paid a heavy price during this operation. Now we have a responsibility to make sure that the benefits for our people, for the people of Israel, are real and long-lasting.
More than 200 Jews, reportedly from what is considered a cult, the cult group Lev Tahor, left the Guatemalan Indian village, where at least some of them have lived for 6 years, amid claims that they were threatened. They left the Mayan village of San Juan La Juana after weeks of what some defined as friction with sections of the local population. As reported on Arutz Sheva, George Tannenbaum, president of the Guatemala Jewish community, claimed in early June that the group is part of the Lev Tahor cult, which is reportedly engaged in shocking physical and sexual abuse. Members of the group have tried fleeing Canada to Guatemala over legal proceedings. We decided to leave as soon as possible because first they, the residents, were going to cut the water before the community meeting, and they did it. They started to cut the water, and so with the public threats they made in this place, we thought they, the village leaders, could do this too. So we're leaving San Juan as soon as possible for the security of our children and our families.
Unfortunately, it went wrong, not from our side. In order to keep the peace, we decide we just have to leave. We have a responsibility for our children, for our women, for our families, and we don't want to live in a place that who knows what's going to happen. And even we have the full right to be there. But right now we hope to start a new page, most calm.
New York Republican candidate Bruce Blakeman visited the Old City of Jerusalem Friday. Our correspondent Chesky Ezra joined him.
Rather unique view from here, as you can see. But this basically puts everything in perspective in relation to distances. You know, one needs to understand where is it, what is the holy basin, what is it the Arabs want, and how close is it to the middle of town, etc.
Israel is not only an important strategic partner, economic partner, but we have a moral bond. We have a love of freedom and religious freedom and democracy. And those are very, very important values that we need to share with the world, and we have to be strong for Israel. And what's going on in Israel right now with all the conflict really is a war against Western civilization. So we have to stand strong together because we know that there's a war going on against Christians. We know there's a war going on Western civilization. There's a war against America, and there's a war against Israel. And we're all in this together. We need to stick together and be strong.
לשנה הבאה בירושלים. Say, לשנה הבאה בירושלים הבנויה.
הבנויה.
יופי.
Okay.
לשנה הבאה בירושלים. לשנה הבאה בירושלים הבנויה.
And earlier Friday, we joined the ascent to the gravesite of Rabbi Avraham Yitzchak Cohen Kook, who is considered the leader of religious Zionism.
Rav Kook's greatness was his ability to be able to see the potential and correct vision of Zionism, even though many of the people leading it were not religious or anti-religious. And that's why religious Zionists continue to identify with him 80 years later after his death, because he was the one who led the way, held the torch about Judaism's need to return and rebuild Israel.
As we mentioned earlier, it's the first day of school tomorrow morning. Here's a unique look at an ancient tradition, which is actually carried out in some places today, as we can see here in Yitzhar. Students, especially those in kindergarten, sometimes those in first grade, lick honey off letters of the Torah, letters of the verses of the Torah, to teach them that the words of Torah, the verses of Torah, are sweet like honey. Okay, that'll be all for today. Until next time, from all of us here at Arutz Sheva, IsraelNationalNews.com. Shalom.